Hey, I'm ChristopherJMUA and welcome back to my channel. Unless you've never been here, of course, then welcome. I'm so glad you've stopped by. Today we are reviewing the Huda Beauty Faux Filter Skin Finish Buildable Coverage Foundation Stick. Blech, that's a mouthful. But not only this, we also have the Huda Beauty Water Jelly Hydrating Primer, as well as the Huda Beauty Face Build and Buff Foundation Brush. So we're going to give all three of these a shot together, use them in combination with some of my normal products, and see how they perform, as well as find out my initial first impressions on the foundation, as well as the primer and the brush. So if you'd like to know a little more information about the foundation and the two products that launched at the same time with it, then stay exactly where you are, keep doing exactly what you're doing, and keep on watching. Okay guys, before I open the foundation, I want to open the brush first. Now this brush was $33. It's a very expensive brush. Well, it's not very expensive. It's about the same price as like an IT Cosmetics brush. It is a double-ended brush, and once I get it open, I will show you. Okay, so we have Face Build and Buff. So it looks like on one side, we've got more of a triangle, little pyramid shape. That's really soft. That feels really nice actually. So I'm going to assume this is the builder side, where you can really build up the product if you want to in a certain spot. And then I believe this would be the buff side. Just like a standard kabuki kind of brush. Looks a lot like the Morphe M439 or the Luxie 532 round top blender. They're all kind of those rounded kabuki type brushes. Great for blending foundation, especially stick foundations in my opinion. I love using that brush for blending out my Hourglass Vanish stick foundation and my Juvia's Play stick foundation. It's really great for stick foundations since they have that thicker consistency usually. And that's it for the $33 brush. Then we have the Water Jelly Hydrating Primer. This was also $33, just like the brush. And so far, these are both pretty standardly priced for being Sephora brands. They're just kind of that prestige level, not luxury, but not affordable, right in the middle. And I am curious as to what this feels like. I'm curious if it's gonna feel like the Milk Hydro Grip Primer because it looks a lot like it. The component for this feels super cheap. It looks kind of luxe, but it feels really cheap. It feels like a light, just cheap plastic. Okay, so I squeezed out about half a pump. It does not feel like the Milk Hydro Grip. It feels like a dry oil. It has a texture of water, but it kind of feels like a dry oil, but with a little more slip to it. And now the actual Faux Filter Skin Finish Buildable Coverage Foundation Stick. I love me a good foundation stick. Foundation sticks are probably my favorite type of foundation, mainly because they are so easy to use. They're quick and painless and non-messy. You don't have to pump out the liquid anywhere. You just put it on. I got the shade Toasted Coconut, which is 240 in. This comes in 39 shades, which is pretty impressive in my opinion. I do not think though, and I feel like I say this every time foundations launch, but I feel like it's relevant every time foundations launch, that it just doesn't get deep enough. There are tons of light to light medium tones, but there's not a lot of deep tones. I don't get it. If you can make that many light medium shades, you can make that many deep to deep dark shades. Anyway, I digress. Let us open the foundation stick and see what she looks like. Now this was not $33. This was in fact $39. So it's definitely not an affordable foundation stick. It does look really pretty. I've got to hand it to Huda on appearance. The packaging doesn't feel very luxe. I mean, it's not like a magnetized attachment. It's just maybe an acrylic or a plastic component that it goes in. The gradient sprayed over on the plastic cap looks pretty. It looks cute. It looks like it's Huda for sure. And we do have a square stick. It looks like it's got a little bit of a taper to it, so it's slanted. And let's see how much product it looks like we get. Okay, that's not too bad. That looks like a pretty fair amount. I have seen foundation sticks with less, if you can believe that. So let's see. It says this comes with 12.5 grams of product. The pure foundation stick is 9 grams of product. MAC is 9 grams of product. Juvia's Place is 9.7 grams of product. Hourglass is 7.2 grams. And Anastasia is 9 grams. Why are all of these others 9 grams and Huda is 12.5 grams? How is it so much more? Well, based on that, I'm gonna say that Huda is pretty steep competition when it comes to value for money based on the amount of product that you get in the stick. Now, that does bring up the question of if it's good, because if it's not good, there's really no point in even paying for more product for a cheaper price. So let's start out and use the water jelly primer. We're gonna see what she looks like on the skin. It pumps out like water. It literally looks like I just squirted water into my hands. They're just shiny. Now, I haven't put anything on my face yet. I don't have any kind of primer at all except for this. I have the skincare from way earlier this morning, so my skin's probably not really even plumped or anything anymore. So it was really cold going on my face, very cold. If I had any inflammation or swelling, that would have helped that because coldness helps bring down inflammation. So that would have been good. Now let me see if it looks like I have any change. Well, I do look hydrated. I look kind of glowy, kind of dewy. It doesn't look super wet. It doesn't look like it's an oily kind of finish. I just look like I've got a healthy glow, kind of. So it's not over dramatic. It would work really well for someone with oily skin or dry skin because products like that are more of like a gel or more lightweight usually will work pretty well with oily skin types. Now, that being said, I do not notice really any kind of pore filling properties, so it's definitely not thick enough to fill pores. So I am gonna go ahead and fill my pores off of camera. I'm going to do so with my Hydrating Benefit Professional. So give me just a second, I'm gonna do that off camera and I'll be right back. Got my Benefit Professional applied and smushed into my pores so they are filled adequately at this point. I also went in with 2 more pumps of the water jelly primer because I noticed after the Professional I had lost a lot of the shine and the kind of glowy look that it gave me. Now it is time to use the Faux Filter foundation stick. I'm hoping this shade is going to be right for me. In the actual stick, it looks like it's going to be a little dark. I'm really hoping not. Now, normally I would use a sponge on one side of my face and a brush on the other side, but seeing as how this foundation came with a brush this time and it was made with one, I'm just going to go ahead and use the brush everywhere. That way I can truly see if the product that they made to go with it was made to go with it. So let's get a few little swipes over here. How's that shade? You know, I think that shade is pretty much perfect. Maybe a little yellow, but I think it's gonna be just fine. Now I'm just gonna start with this much right here because I wanna see what this diamond brush tip does with it being called a build and buff. I'm curious as to what this does to help build any kind of coverage. Unless it just moves it around, maybe, I don't know. So it definitely starts picking up product. I can see it picking up excess, and wow, yeah, it definitely picks up product almost immediately. And I'm just gonna start patting it everywhere and seeing if it'll let me move the product around. And so far, with just that first initial application, this looks really beautiful. It looks just like my skin. I don't see any kind of mattifying happen. I can still see the glow of that primer underneath the foundation, but the foundation's not making it emphasize any of the shine, so it's not adding any kind of texture to it. Right now, I'm probably at a light coverage, definitely a light coverage. I just have this really smooth, even veil on this side of my face. It just looks like I have nice skin without any kind of discoloration, which is not true. That's a lie. So it's doing its job so far. However, now I want to see if it will build up. I'm not going to be doing it with the diamond shape of the brush. I'm more of this kind of guy. There, it's built up. Wow, that built up fast. Very fast. So that second layer took me from light to medium, almost medium full. I'm okay with that. I like that quite a bit. That really beautiful skin finish is making my heart very happy though. That looks super beautiful. Okay, so I guess I'm just gonna go ahead and build it up all over the face and see what it looks like in the end. I'm gonna try to get it to full coverage. I want it to be the fullest of the full. So I'm just gonna flip you guys onto fast forward so you can still watch me apply it all the way, zoom through it, use all my regular products that I would normally use, and show you them as I go. That way you at least know what I'm using and how it works with this foundation. And by the end of it, I'll be able to tell you just how everything did work, if it went on perfectly and smoothly, or if I had any trouble. So let's get started on that and get this face beat. Okay, I now have all of my face makeup applied. I don't really know why I showed you guys lips and brows and eyeliner, because really that had nothing to do with laying on top of the foundation. Maybe the brows did, but anyway, I gotta say, the foundation is perfect. I mean, I had no problems. I had no issues the entire time. Powder went on it beautifully. I even used cream blush and cream highlight, as you guys saw, just so I could test out the compatibility of the foundation with creams as well as powders on top of it, and everything works perfectly. I went in a little bit harsh with a brush just to kind of push through it to see if it would move around on the skin, and it doesn't. Now, I don't know how it transfers, so let me clean my hand off and we're gonna see what kind of transfer it has. See if I can put a beautiful handprint on my face. Literally nothing came off my face just now. Holy crap. I like that a lot. Okay, so far so good, obviously. It is a beautiful skin finish, works with creams well, works with powders well. But we still need to see how it wears. So I am going to go off camera and finish the eyeshadow on my lower lash line and get my mascara on and make sure that my face is done completely, ready all the way. Then I'm gonna have this foundation on for a few hours. I don't know exactly how long yet, but I will let you know on my check-in or the outro, depending on how late I stay up. So I will check in with you guys in just a little while and let you know how the foundation is wearing. And we're back for the only and final check-in for the Huda Beauty Faux Filter Skin Finish Buildable Coverage Foundation Stick. It has been 9 hours since I put this on and set it and finished, and so far, I'm not sure if it's the primer or the foundation, but I am very, very glowy. All I've really been doing is laying in bed watching Netflix, so I haven't been like working out or anything. There's not really too much of a reason I should be oily or sweaty looking. So it does definitely have somewhat of a glow to it. I'll have to use the stick a little more by itself without the primer, but If it is the primer that's doing that, I would definitely not recommend it for oily skin. If it is the foundation stick that's doing that, definitely wouldn't recommend it for oily skin. At least for a long wear time. Although it's not transferring off of me, and it's not breaking up, so I guess that's just to say that the longer you wear it, the more glowy you're gonna get. But that's really not too bad of a compromise for a really natural, beautiful finish and a long-lasting, non-transferring formula. Having normal to dry skin, I was a little worried with this being a stick foundation that it was gonna be a drier formula and potentially dry me out or even emphasize dry patches and make it even worse. But it kind of surprised me. It honestly reminds me a lot of the Makeup Forever HD stick. That one kind of has this finish whenever it's worn for a little while. But all in all, I would definitely recommend the Huda Beauty Stick Foundation. It's not bad. I really think it's beautiful. I did use a luminizing powder to set my under eyes, and I didn't really think about that part, so that would explain why I have so much more of a glow here. But I do definitely have just a gorgeous finish all over the rest of the face, and it just looks beautiful still. I am still excited to give it more test runs though, just to see how it works. Just to see how it works with primers that I normally use or primers that I don't normally use. I'm just curious to see how it pairs and what I can do with it, since it is such buildable coverage. And with it being so versatile, it really seems like it can work for just about anybody. So that is my wear test and my initial first impressions of the Huda Beauty Stick Foundation as well as the Huda Beauty Water Jelly. Oh yeah, and the brush, unless you just have no face brushes to blend out your foundation, then I don't really see why you should pay that much for a brush like that. Unless you're just maybe on the go all the time and you just need a brush that's quick and easy to blend out foundation, I guess it would be helpful for that, but I would just rather use one brush or one sponge. But that's just me. Just not worth it for 33 bucks to me. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you guys think about the Huda Stick Foundation and the Jelly Primer. I'm curious as to what opinions you guys have. Do you think you would like this more slick, watery formula? And do you think you would like this stick foundation? Do you guys like to use stick foundations? Do you use a stick more on the daily and just kind of as your go and get it done type foundation? Or do you guys use liquid foundation more regularly? Let me know down in the comments. I'm curious just to, what you guys prefer. Anyway guys, that is it from me for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up because it does let me know that you like my content, but it also lets others know that you like my content. Also, if you like this look and you want to see more looks like them, you can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, and TikTok. My username is the same for everything. It's just ChristopherJMUA. And if you gain nothing out of this video, if you gain nothing out of any of my videos, please at least gain this. And that is to always remember and to never forget that you are absolutely beautiful. And I love you guys. Bye.